think it's time to do a garden tour. It's been a minute. It's been a while, actually. We've experienced loss, burnout, family loss, and it's just been a long season. But the garden is still growing. I'm still growing things. Well, out of this last summer, I'm still growing things. I had another baby. This is Owen. But at the end of my pregnancy with him, I came out and I planted and I planted and I planted, literally like the day my labor started. That's a fun story. But yeah, so things, I don't know, things are starting to heat up here in Arizona, so I'm gonna start losing things and I need to start harvesting things. But everything with life right now is super busy, and I don't know. I hope it's just not another season where I lose a lot of crops like I did last year. So, finger to the mouth. But we're doing good though. I did harvest some tomatoes and I put them all in a bag and I froze them for a rainy day, so we're gonna get those good. But I got peppers coming, I got flowers, calendula flowers. I'm harvesting them all, letting them dry out so I can make oil, calendula oil. But I got stuff, I'm doing stuff, I'm keeping busy, so that's really good. But let's start with our flower garden over here. Turn right around. So here, this was bare. Probably, yeah, the day before I went into labor. I actually put this fence up right here the day before I went to labor, so the chickens would stay out. They're staying out. They're doing great. They're not staying out well on this side of the garden though. But I just sprinkled everything. I have blue forget-me-nots over there. I got alyssum. It's on its way out, but it's still doing really good. My one calendula plant right there. I actually ordered white daisies, and well, no, I didn't order. I bought white daisies. I think this is what it's called, and they're red. I'm not mad about it, but I'm mad about it. More calendula. I actually have some volunteer tomatoes in here. I have a red cherry over here, and I have a yellow or a golden sunrise, and I did not buy that seed. I have no idea where that seed came from. It is such a good tomato though. I'll come out here and just eat like 10 of them. Good snacking tomato. I do have a couple of volunteers also over here. Not sure what this one is. It is a yellow tomato. I think it's probably a sun gold. And then I have one over here growing out of the landscape that I need to do something with. I think it's a San Marzano or Roma. And then some weeds, of course. It's a garden, messy garden. If you've been following along, I've had made a short about a tomato also growing out of my landscape, and I'm not impressed. The tomato, the plant itself, is living it up. It's having a great time. The tomato itself though is nasty. No, it's not nasty. I don't know how to explain it. It's like a very unripe tomato that just doesn't want to turn red. So it has like the unripe flavor constantly. But let me show it to you. It's taking over. It really is. It's growing out from in there. But it's so big. It's like it's coming up my trellis over here. Well, I made it go up the trellis, and it's an understatement. I don't even know how to explain it. There's a little sand bee over here somewhere. I have a jalapeno in there. This jalapeno I actually planted. Yeah, everything pretty much planted in October. I haven't really planted anything up until a couple of weeks ago for squash and stuff. But this, I got some basil that's bolting. I have some tomatoes that are coming back. All of this I planted carrots, radish, and beets. Oh, sorry, Owen. A volunteer calendula came up, which was nice. I have a serrano in there. Yeah. This is the original garden beds. There's some tomatoes in there. I did have some brassicas, but they just bolted really quick. They got hot way too fast. I do have a squash in there. I don't know what squash it is though. And a tulip that's taking forever. I don't know. Plant some edamame in there also. Sorry for the camera. I don't want to make you guys dizzy over here. But my chicken got in there this morning. I don't know. Chickens are frustrating me right now. I have some carrots in this bed that I need to harvest. I just saw this today. I don't know what that is. I think that's probably powdery mildew, but it needs to go. I actually planted, my hair's everywhere. I planted those carrots to harvest as needed. I didn't want to do a big harvest because last time I grew carrots, I did a big harvest and I wasted all of them because I didn't have the time for them, and I just messed up. But so I wanted to plant them and harvest as I went, which I've harvested some, but I'm gonna have to harvest all these and just do something with them. But I'll make it a priority this time because I don't want to lose them again. Another jalapeno here with red peppers, Tabasco. We harvested a bunch of peppers before, after Owen was born, me and Melanie, and I made Tabasco sauce. And I also did jalapenos and carrots, so that was good. And my lemon tree right here, not doing much. It's doing good though, I mean, but it's kind of just chilling. I need to do something with it. I really keep trying to tell myself, just put it in the ground. But I don't plan on living here for another year or two, and I kind of just want to take my things with me, be selfish that way, but that's not fair either. So I really should just put it in the ground. I do have a jujube right here, but I don't like it. It fruited last year. It's gonna fruit now too. Let me see. There's like little flowers here. You can see them. But the fruit on it, I didn't really care for it. And I even let them dry, and they turned into dates. But they were hard dates, and I couldn't eat them either, so they weren't great. I got my fig here. It's doing really good. This is probably my oldest tree that I had. I started this was the first thing I bought when I started gardening, actually. And we're finally getting figs. I did get figs, not last year, but the year before, but I didn't really get much out of it. And then I have a grape right here. I have two grapes. I don't know which one it is. This one's either a green grape or a Concord grape. But I need to do a trellis ASAP because they're going to start taking over. And then my mulberry. If you know anything about mulberry, can you, I don't know, send me a comment, send me a message or something, because this is probably year 3. This will be the 3rd summer. And I still don't have any fruit. And I'm thinking I have a male mulberry, and that's really disappointing because it's beautiful. And I really wanted some mulberry finally. But I don't know. Let me know if you have any insight on that. Now, minus the messy rest of the yard. But anyways, this is a newer part of the garden. I have these 4x4s that I actually put together last year. This is a mess of tomatoes, dill, cilantro that is now coriander. But I let everything to just bolt, and it's beautiful. I love it. I actually was just harvesting some dill seeds this morning, and I dropped a bunch on my floor right here on my ground. So I have dill everywhere in the garden, maybe fall or next spring. But yeah, it's good. I just knocked over all these tomatoes here because I was actually contemplating by just taking them all out because they weren't that great. But now I think with the heat from the sun, they're actually tasting really good. So I decided to keep them. They'll just grow messy that way for right now. I do have a San Marzano in there, and then I have a Brandywine. All the tomatoes in this bed actually grew from seeds, so I'm super proud of them. If the ants would stop getting to them, though. Don't grab that tomato, Owen. All right, and then here, it's just kind of sprinkled in with some stuff. I had some mustard and collard greens over here. I finally harvested a bunch of that, chopped them down. Cabbages are, I don't know, they're not doing that great. This one's definitely not doing great. These two on the edge right here are doing okay. Chicken's got a hold of that one. I had some romaine lettuce here that bolted. But I have some cucumbers growing. And then I actually planted asparagus in this bed a couple, like maybe 2 weeks ago, so it hasn't done anything. But I did plant some potatoes here, so they're starting to come up, which is cool. So maybe we'll have some potatoes. But in grow bags, and I've just never had any luck. I actually grew them for like a whole year one time, just recently, and I got like 2 baby potatoes. So I was like, all right, well, that didn't work out. And then the very newest bed, pretty much in the last couple of months, I put it together. I had not enough soil or anything to put it together, but I was like, well, I can at least do like an in-ground garden bed inside of a garden bed, so I might as well just do that. So I just, whatever soil I did have, I just put it in here. And it's doing really good. So let's go over this, and then we'll end our video here in a second. I planted corn over here. They did not take the first time, so I ended up planting again, and they took this time, so that's good. I had one corn one corn last from the first planting, so I don't know if it's gonna be a good time, but these other ones are fine. I sprinkled corn throughout the bed too. And then I have striped zucchini, which is doing amazing. There's one right there, and another one right there. I already harvested one that actually grew while we were out of town. It was nice and big. I posted a short about that. And then I sprinkled some edamame here. My daughter loves edamame, and I love edamame. We actually all do, so I wanted to grow some. I really wanted to do it almost, or even some beans, but I didn't get to it, so I just sprinkled it wherever I saw an empty spot. But I always do that, where I sprinkle seeds in empty spots, and then have to consider that plants and everything will eventually take over in like a day or two. But I do have some roselle growing also. There's a plant right here. I'm going to come in here and I'm going to thin out some of these squash leaves so they get more sun. And I have another plant right here that I really want. Obviously, I really would love some roselle this year, so that'd be really great. So I'm going to come back in here and just make sure that they're taken care of. And then I also planted okra. Where are you? There's one right there. There's one right there. And then there was a tall, oh wait, one's right here also too. Right there. Right in front of that tomato. So I have to come in here and thin some leaves out so everything has room and stuff. But I pretty much planted everything together at the same time. I did not do it in like sessions, which I should have done, but ain't nobody got time for that. So just whatever makes it, makes it. I know okra is really good too. Okra will be fine. I know it'll come up. And the roselle actually took off way before those pumpkins, and squash did too. So I'm really excited. I'm really excited for that bed. We were gone for a couple of days, and I said, sister, can you just water that one bed if you come by my house? So she came, and she ended up watering a little bit, but just make sure you water that bed really good, because I don't want to come back to a dead garden bed. But I'm excited because that's pretty much my fall harvest, I guess. So that's it. But that's, what are we at? This is the end of April. May's next month. Yeah, pretty much May. I'm just going to be harvesting and maybe preserving things. So maybe I'll make a couple of videos doing that. I like to close down the garden during the summer. It's kind of like my winter for some other, for other states, but I really don't enjoy gardening during the summer, especially with children, so young babies. I'll keep everything alive. I'll water it, but if it dies, it's okay. So we'll go from there, but I won't be planting or doing any gardening plans up until July maybe. So July I'll start planting seeds for our fall, and it'll be good. But yeah, hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for staying till this long. And Owen's having a hard time. Not really, he's just like, Mom, put me down. Okay, I'm having a hard time, he's not having a hard time. Alright, well, thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.